the good times roll. Let the good times roll.
Good morning, and as you can see, we still have flat, calm weather. The storm that passed north of us just kind of sucked all of our wind out of here, and it is beautifully calm, but it does make it very hot. You can see the bottom perfectly. But in an interesting turn of events, we just got a call from Julian that Silver Wolf is back on the horizon.
Oh no.
It would appear they had problems at sea. Julian says engine problems and electrical issues. That's all I know. So they are on their way back in the channel. So they only got about a day and a half out, ran into troubles, and they back.
You think then they arrive here by engine now?
Oh, they're coming in by engine. There's no wind.
But it is broken.
Don't know.
It's for this in this day the GPS go to tell today then they selling a 4 note very slow.
Well, I don't know. That was when they first left. They've been out there for 2 days.
Yeah, one day because the another day they start to come back. They start to come back. We'll stay here now. I need to advise Valentinas. Wow, he's very. Oh. Good morning, guys. Another surprise in San Andres Island.
Uh-huh.
Oh.
Wasn't expecting that at 7 in the morning. Hear a message on my phone. It's usually my parents saying good morning.
I don't know.
But there they are. They're on their way in.
Yeah, they are just too close us.
Under power. So I don't know what the engine problem is, but they're under power.
Yeah, for this I don't understand. Because if the engine is broken, how they use the engine here?
Uh-huh.
Oh, I don't know. It's possible somebody... They finished the gasoline, it's possible. Because all the tank of the reserve of the gasoline is here.
Yeah, they never did take the reserve tanks off Paradise.
Yeah, and I don't saw they make a refinement of gasoline in the gas station.
No, so I don't know. But I suspect we're going to find out soon. I think there's a big debris field in the water or something there, I don't know. Maybe that big log we saw yesterday. Yeah, I guess they're trying to get it out of the water. Move it or something. Well, for coming in as an emergency situation with engine trouble, they seem to be running at full power to me.
Yeah.
I don't-
Why they coming?
I don't understand what the problem is with the engine, because it's they're running in by engine. Even Maddie don't know what to say. Speechless.
Valentina go around to the catamaran.
He's up now?
Yeah, he's outside.
I'm sure even he's in disbelief. What? What? Well, looks like the Coast Guard might be moving to intercept. I guess we'll see. I guess no intercept. Yeah, they're definitely coming back into our anchorage. Do you see Sasha standing at the back mast messaging you? Yeah, she's typing on her phone now, so you're probably going to get a message. Yeah, I think he stopped fast because the bottom was coming up. Now he's in reverse. I think he might have ran aground. Yeah, he's on the wrong side of those boats at anchor. He should be on this side of them. Oh, welcome back to Wolf. Back on the hard again. That didn't take long. What an entrance. Right back to being stuck in the mud. Holy shit, man. Well, in typical fine SSL fashion, we have a busy day today.
Strange.
Yeah, I know you've heard this before, but we seem to have a never-ending list of stuff to do.
Okay.
All good?
Yeah.
Ciao, Tiki. We'll be back in a minute.
Oh, good breeze.
Yeah, nice breeze.
Very hot humidity.
Yeah, the forecast keeps telling us gonna rain, and then the day shows up and we actually get some sun a lot more often than rain, so that's nice. It means that our weather is changing and we're finally starting to get our beloved San Andres weather back, so that's cool. But yes, today we have some friends coming over that we've hired to help with some projects on the boat, so we're continuing that. Valentina's one of them. We're going to get the engine finished, I believe, today. So that will be great. We can start putting things back together and sorting out our aft cabins again. And we have Sebastian coming over, who's going to be helping me with some of our other projects, including the dinghy lifts. We need to run a new wire through the boat for the winch. And we need to find some new mounting bolts for it because it ships with standard steel bolts and we need some stainless ones. So we got to go out on the island and see if we can find those today. So that'll be something for this morning. And another project that we've had to put on hold while waiting for parts and getting things ordered. And I know there's been a few things show up that you guys are wondering, hey, what's that stuff for? Well, we're going to answer that today too. So stick around because that's coming up. And right now we are almost at the dock. And I believe everybody's here already, so let's go see. Daddy-o! Back from the mainland. Yes, man. Everything good? Glad to hear your mom's doing well.
I need to call Valentina.
Sebastian. Yes, Valentina's supposed to be ready also.
Yep.
Yes, sir.
Do you have the screw here or is in the...
No, it's on the boat. We just came to pick you guys up, then we'll go back, get sorted.
Okay.
And then we have to go ashore, need to go to the bank and stuff like that also. And enter Valentinas. Mr. Valentinas. You ready? Let's roll.
Yeah.
Valentina.
Team SSL. Ready to get to work.
Sebastian, Dario, Sebastian. Sebastian è l'esposo di Arlene e del pequeño Gillian.
Yeah, the other little guy.
Not new.
Oh, that'll look better. New coat of paint fixes everything. Bueno,
Yes.
ready?
Ready.
All right, we're just waiting on Sebastian. Okay, show me what you've got.
I got the screws here.
So what do we need?
And I have the another for the head.
Okay, so we need this one in 2.5-inch stainless steel.
Yes.
At least 4 of them, but preferably more for spares. And this one we're gonna get in
And
a,
this head.
not a pan head, but a flush mount head, correct? In 2-inch.
Yes, sir.
So machine screws with nuts, washers, everything you need. All right, perfecto. You ready?
Ready.
Okay, we go.
Ciao Vale.
Ciao, Ale.
Back shortly. Ciao, Tiki.
Ciao Tiki. Tiki.
That was a new flag a month ago and it's destroyed again.
Sebi, nos vemos más tarde.
Claro que sí. Ya nos
Dios los bendiga.
Ciao, un beso.
Ciao, Dario. Luego.
Maybe 1 hour.
Okay, perfect.
Okay, so we'll be back about an hour also. See you in a bit, man. Alright, on we go. Our first stop, bank. We need to get some cash. And then second stop, metal shop.
Oh, it ain't money, honey. The birds a smile on my face. A little bit of a lot of things could never really replace the feeling of someone you're loving and their compassionate embrace. Put up a fight, treasure my eye.
Hey, the answer to everybody's problems right there.
What makes the world go round is love, love, love. The gravity of humanity ain't always enough. Spinning faster like that laughter, give it a little nudge. What makes the world go round is love, 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 love. Love, oh, oh. I could write a song that makes you cry and breaks your heart. Sing aloud all about how this life is so hard. But if misery loves company, then happiness does too. So let's get together, make it all better, and smile up at the moon. What makes the world go round is love, love, love. The gravity of humanity ain't always enough. Spinning faster like that laughter, give it a little nudge. Yeah, what makes the world go round is love, 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 love. What makes the world go round is love, love, love. The gravity of humanity ain't always enough. Spinning faster like that laughter, give it a little nudge. Yeah, what makes the world go round is love, 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 love.
The Canadian card with a mind of its own. Some days work, some days no. See if today's our lucky day. This bank machine likes us. It's gonna be a good day.
What makes the world go round is love. Ain't always enough, ain't always enough. Love, 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 give it a little nudge. What makes the world go round is love. Oh, what makes the world go round is love. Spinning, 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 yeah, yeah. Yeah, what makes the world go round is love. Yeah. What makes the world go round is love.
Hola, ¿cómo están?
Bueno,
¿Cómo les ha ido? ¿Bien?
Le queremos cotizar cuánto nos saldría una realidad tiene 400, son 200 pero es por ambos lados.
bonito. Perfect.
Son como 200.
Perfecto. We are in business. Okay, so I'm sure by now a lot of you guys are wondering, Rick, what's with all the sheet metal? Well, I'll tell you. I am going to build something. We are going to build something. Because there's one thing you guys might not know that we've been dealing with the past while is that we have no freezer. It crashed. I'm sure you remember me trying to fix it many times over the past, and ultimately it just finally died. Now, it's no fault of the compressor or anything like that, but the condenser is old, the evaporators are old, and there's just problems that I've been fixing and putting band-aids on and correcting problems and, you know, doing little things to keep it running and basically giving it mouth to mouth, and finally it just said, no, I'm out of here, I'm done. So I had to let it die. So the project I'm introducing you today is the fact that we are going to build a new freezer from scratch. Why? Well, because freezers are expensive when you talk about marine refrigeration systems, and I can't afford to just go out and buy a new major system every time one breaks. So I always look at options and how can we do it a little less expensive, a little more practical, and maybe teach you guys something about how the system works and how you can do the same thing if you're in a remote location or a different place where you can't actually get the parts or service that you need to keep it running. So to give you an idea what I've been looking at here, I think some of you might even remember how an episode a long time ago I showed you this piece of pipe and a bunch of coils of copper tubing and asked you what do you think it's for? Well, guess what? This is what it's for. We are building a refrigeration system from scratch, and I want to do a system that's going to carry all the heat outside of the boat instead of dissipating it in the main cabin here, especially right at my nav station, because the nav station is where I get an immense amount of heat from all the electronics, computers, refrigeration systems, and everything just vents out in front of me, and the temperature quickly rises to like 95 degrees and it becomes untenable. Eventually the computers even shut down because they can't take it. So this is intended to be my new heat exchanger along with some coils of copper tubing. But I found something even better along the way. Now I found this clear one, and the clear one is going to allow me to make a system that actually I can put all the coils inside and still be able to inspect them visually over time, so I know if there's any problems with corrosion or anything like that going on. As you can see, I've collected a bunch of other parts. I mean, we've got the dryer tubes. These are easily accessible in most locations you're going to be, even remote places, as long as there's some type of refrigeration service there, you'll find all this kind of stuff, including, of course, all the new copper tubing. This is stuff you can keep even in spare on the boat. It's easy to store. You keep the ends capped. It'll last a very long time. Torches, very important. Lots of applications for this. And if you get the Map Pro stuff, the yellow bottles, these are much more hot than the propane bottles and are very good for welding small projects like refrigeration. Even down to the refrigeration gas. These are something, the small canisters are something easily accessible in most automotive shops anywhere, even in remote locations that you're going to travel. They're just little top-up bottles and legal for anybody to buy in small quantities. If you're going to try and get the great big service cans, usually you need a license to be able to buy that, but these are available almost anywhere. Now, back to the metal sheets. What are these for? I'm going to take you over to our current freezer and show you the holding plates that are inside now and show you why I've decided to try this type of metal as an experiment and see what I can build that will actually replace the old holding plates that are 25 years old, because they've got some issues, and of course 25 years old, there's only so much more time and money I want to put into them. So we're going to try something new. We're going to try and build something with things we can get locally. We're going to build something that we can do in a remote location just with what's available. So we got to consider the parts and supplies, facilities. I mean, you can find a sheet metal shop just about anywhere and get things cut. You may not be able to get things bent, welded, you know, put together, fabricated professionally. But this kind of stuff, I've got some ideas that I'm going to pass along to you guys that, well, it'll just give you ideas when something happens and you need to correct something. You might be able to do it on your own instead of having to go to a shop, and if the shop is not available or it's too expensive, you still have options. So that's all this is about, is just thinking options. What we're going to build is not going to be perfect. You know, we're not trying to be perfect here. We're just trying to build something with our own tools, our own hands, what we have available, and see how it does. That's what this experiment's going to be. Now I'll take you over and show you a bit more about what I've got in mind for these. Okay, I'm switching to just the GoPro now, just for ease of use, so sorry if the sound quality bombs on you a little bit. But if you remember well, you'll see that we have a fridge and a freezer. Okay, so each one of these is about between 8 and 9 cubic feet. They're very large, so of course these are our biggest consumers of energy on the boat. So we want to keep them working as efficiently and effective as possible. Now the freezer is the one that's been giving the main problem, and you might remember 6 or 8 months ago I walked you through a complete repair from just trying to find the problem, isolating it, fixing it, and putting it back into service. So that's something that's been ongoing for me. It's nothing new. We have a lot of fittings in here that are just too old to become brittle, and there's a lot of them. So for me to actually go into them and repair or replace them is just too big a project centered around another piece of the system that's still always going to be 25 years old. So it just doesn't make sense anymore. The fridge, as you can see, it is still working normally. Of course, it is very full at the moment because our freezer is down. So we've had to load everything in here just for practicality purposes. We can't keep anything frozen, except we do have a little backup freezer, which is a 12 volt, like an RV freezer, you know, one that you would take camping or something like that. So Not big, it doesn't give us a lot of room, but it does give us a little bit of backup, that's all. But we look inside the freezer, and this is the one we're going to start with. Ultimately, I'm going to replace both of them, but we're going to start with this one right here. Now, as you can see, we're still using it for storage, but it's kind of turned into a bit of a bread locker. So we just keep extra stuff in here because it's still viable space for us to use, and it's still actually a little bit cooler. That's why we keep some of the wine and things in here, because if you look at the temperature gauge here, you can see the fridge is at 11.9, the freezer's at 25 Celsius, but that is still, you know, better than the ambient air temperature, which is 30. So it actually does keep things a little bit cooler, which is nice. But these guys here and here are the issue. And you remember, I can show you up in here, they have tons of these compression fittings everywhere. They're everywhere. And those compression fittings have become a real big pain in the butt. We're gonna gut all of that, rip it all out 100%, start from scratch, and we're gonna start building with some of the supplies you see over there. So that's what this next project's gonna be all about. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. It's not going to be like a one episode thing. It'll be something we do a little bit each time, because I've got to build condensers from scratch, evaporators from scratch. We got to source some more parts still, but you'll see how we go through it, how we do it, and ultimately, hopefully, we end up with a freezer that works even better than what we have now. So I'm going to get into the mechanics of what I've been thinking, how I've been designing this system. I've been thinking about it actually for probably into a good 2 years, what I want to replace this old system with. And now I've got a handle on what I think we can build on our own with what we can acquire locally. So that's what you're going to find in some of our upcoming episodes. And in addition, I've got a lot of other projects still continuing on. I've got Sebastian and some friends here helping with working on other projects. And I think there's going to be a lot that you guys are going to find informative, entertaining, a little bit of both maybe. I guess we'll see. But that's what's coming in next episode, guys. So until then, stay safe, stay well, and I'll see you out there. Thanks again for watching. See you next time. One, two, three. Okay, how are we doing? Testing. 1, 2, 3. Bueno. Okay, so I'm sure by now a lot of you guys are wondering, Rick, what's with all the sheet metal?